Alrighty then. Prophetic Weirdo 18 and plus. 18 up. Let's do a tarot reading. I hope everybody's doing okay. Everybody's doing good. I hope your hearts and your tummies are full and your knowledge, your head full of knowledge. Let's see what message comes out. I hope everybody's getting out of bed with a good, positive attitude for the day to come and for days to come. Always putting your best foot forward and doing the best that you can in life and fulfilling your purpose in life, or especially looking and seeking your purpose in life. Always trying to be better than yesterday. Never being better than anybody else, but being better and looking within and only competing with oneself and in elevating in consciousness and in the physical and 3D realm and in the spiritual realm. Being in tune, mind, body, and soul. Physical meaning the 3D. Mind being the consciousness. And soul meaning the spiritual. So when you're connected and aligned with all three, that's where our purpose lies. In bettering and also in bettering humanity. When you better yourself, you better humanity as a whole. Being an example to others or to your from your kids, your offsprings. Being an example, a solid example. Right. Taking responsibility, accountability, being responsible, taking the actions to do what is right, being aligned with one's emotions, being practical, but also being fluid. Be changeable. Be open. The cards don't speak anymore. I'm gonna change the decks. See what this one. Only 6 minutes and it's okay. But yeah, I'm recording on what today is August 13, 2021. We're on a Friday. Going into Saturday. It should be either past 12 or going into 12 o'clock. Going into Saturday. It is Friday the 13th, which is kind of spooky. And we have the Lionsgate portal on the 8th of August. I repeated that like 3 times already. I've been trying to record 3 times already and failed. So it's starting to get frustrated. We also had what is it? Dang it. No, I think that was it. I don't know. I can't remember. August 8th. Right? Was the Lionsgate portal. And I think I was saying that, you know, this is where there's a thin veil between us and the spirit realm. So that could be, you know, God. You know. And it just so happens that there's certain years throughout centuries, especially beginning with the 1st century, being maybe 2,000 years ago. I don't know. I could be wrong. Yeah, 2,000 years ago. We're in 2021, right? 2,000 years ago. Blood moons and super moons, meaning full moons, occurred at certain dates and certain centuries and certain years, stopped for 300 years, began again, then stopped again for another 300 years, and started up again. And significantly enough, it started 2015 again. And I believe that in these centuries where the blood moons have occurred, people have been born with special abilities to talk to either God. You know, many people interpret things in different ways, because I could tell you that many people interpret seeing certain things in different ways, seeing angel, God, or the devil, or an ancestor, or a loved one that, you know, oddly enough was very angelic and stuff like that. It just depends how our eyes and our perspective view it, because one person could see something and be scared or be like, you know, admired by it or mesmerized and, you know, seek it or hide from it. You know, you have people, I mean, it's in movies, but, you know, you have people who drive themselves mad or kill themselves because they see certain things, experience certain things. And it's been very significant in certain centuries also, like these times now of fudge, I forgot what year I read in the book Blood Moons. I recommend some of you to read Blood Moons by Mark Blitzen, something like that. Rudolph Blitzen. It's just very significant because in the years and centuries that blood moons have occurred, historical events have happened, either biblical and historical, like worldwide. Have happened, like certain wars and stuff like that. I don't know why they were like that. A lot of action, speed, either travel, it was an Ace of Swords, but just wasn't feeling it. Like I said, the Eight of Wands, it's quick movement. It could be travel, like it's not abrupt, but kind of like having the fire under your ass. No, I'm reading the wrong one, sorry. Dun, dun. Yeah, see, action. You've been contemplating for too long. Now you should make your move. Do not hesitate. Set your plans into motion and achieve your closure. And the Ace of Swords, it did come out in reverse, but it talks about dang, I just read it. I need to say what that happens. So yeah, if you are perplexed by a difficult problem, you should rely on your intellect, appeal to your sense of justice. Be ready to see through illusions and show real strength of character. Either you have to move from a job or you're trying to move out of a difficult situation. Because we have the Six of Swords. You know, I just read the Ace of Swords, which said, if you are perplexed by difficult problems, you should rely on your intellect, appeal your sense of justice. Be ready to see through illusions and show the real strength of a character. And the Six of Swords says, when the trials of life become too weary, it is prudent to seek a new beginning, embark on a new journey where the causes of past troubles are left behind. So I don't know if there's been some rocky situation that you've had to move away from, get away from, set apart from. You're transitioning into that, because let's see if I can find it. Let me just find it real quick. Because in the traditional tarot, this is not the traditional tarot, but in the traditional tarot, there's a picture of somebody, it looks like a family, the mom, there's always a kid, and then the dad steering, transitioning into rocky waters, into calmer waters, so trying to get away from a chaotic or trouble problem or whatever, and trying to get away from the situation. And that's what it's talking about, and right here it looks to me like a boat, kind of like a big ship, and we have somebody here and they look really sad, like they had to move on. Like, yeah, like they had to move on, but they regret that. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it was necessary though, but they didn't want to move on. They look really sad. Even her skin is all blue. There's a lot of clouds. I don't know. She doesn't look so happy. And right here, there's a boat right there. Burning house, so it looks like somebody went in this illustration and intuitively hitting, saying, you know, somebody needed to sail away from the fiery city, you know, the turmoil, the chaos of the city, having to move away. So there might be some kind of travel involved, maybe, or a change of city, change of home, change of location, having to move on though. But it's much needed, especially if your city is on fire. The city is controlled by the masses, and in turn, when governments or society turns away when they're most needed, is when humanity and economy falls and whole foundation falls, because the mass depends too much on the government. The rule, the law depends too much on the law, when the law only is there to benefits from it. When it involves currency, they only care about currency because that's what makes the world go around, right? But it doesn't matter they don't care about the consequences of their means. This might have to do with either, moving away from a certain someone or a certain group, society, government, because I was talking about that, right? I'm not saying go off the grid or something. No. But by the means of being being self-sustainable, self-efficient, self-aware, self um right, like breaking free from limited thinking. You know what I mean? Like I was saying, I don't know if I said it earlier. I don't know if I said it in this video or in the other videos, trying to be better, trying to, Do you really think that the demon has captured your soul and determines your actions? Think twice. Perhaps you are the only one to be blamed for this. You have overindulged your senses. You gave in to temptation. This card should not frighten you, as it reflects the false assumptions you have made about yourself. Look for the divine in you and relinquish your despair. It will be your guiding light in your journey back to the spiritual world. So, like I said, basically, breaking free from limited thinking, being open minded, but at the same time, you know, looking within yourself and ask yourself, what am I doing in life? What is my purpose? What am I doing to achieve, that purpose? What am I doing every day? Every hour of my day, am I contributing to the things that I want in my life? So if that means that, you want a roof over your head, if you want food, if you want security, if you just want a place to call your home, you're gonna work for those things. And you have to, make logical, practical decisions in your life. And not only that, don't overexhaust yourself with work, and also have some kind of playtime, have some kind of love for yourself, some kind of relaxation for yourself. To be, it's a balance of everyday life, working and relaxing, studying and rejoicing, mourning, crying, and going out and having a connection with people, going out doing things that you love to do, that don't hurt yourself or anybody else. But yeah, I don't know, so many people out there just, oh, we live once, so I should do whatever and live my life however, because it doesn't matter anyways, because we're all gonna die. Yeah, we're all gonna die, but we shouldn't just go about life like it's peanuts, too many people are going about life, living life like it's peanuts, having kids, not taking accountability for how they're raising their kids, and sending these kids off to the world, making more defective offsprings, and you just have a branch of stupid people, or people who don't take accountability for their own actions, or too many branches of offsprings of people who don't care about life and are not innovative, who don't care about making life life or the world a better place. Like I said, there's a lot of bad stuff in the world. We should try to make, and we should live every day to make it better. Okay? I know there's a struggle. Believe me, I've lived through that struggle. I've done and gone through a lot of things, okay, that I'm not proud of, but I went through it and I don't regret it. It happened for a reason. I experienced certain things, learned a lot of things about life, and I am where I am now because of those things. And I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody. I'm just saying it took me a long time. I felt like, I don't know, I had this feeling where like I was like, I'm wasting time. I feel like I'm past my prime and I should be somewhere else. But I'm all the way back here and I should be over here and doing this and doing that, and like I felt like my time was running out. Like, and that's one of the signs of the Kundalini rising, that it's manifesting. It wants to come out. It wants to. That's a lot of people go through that. They go through life feeling like there's something that I need to do. There's something out there for me. Like I feel like I'm running out of time. There's something that I need to find, and they don't know why they feel like this. They never know how they got, like, that they're feeling like this. And it mostly happens to people who they seemingly, I can't say it right, it sounds weird, seemingly look like they have everything, in order, but they have this like tingly, like there's something out there more for me. And that's the thing, a lot of people get distracted by affairs instead of focusing on themselves and the self development and self consciousness, higher consciousness, that they get involved in affairs and basically you sabotage yourself by either getting mad, being worried, like being in anxiety, worrying about stuff, being about the past, future, and not living in the present. You rob yourself of certain blessings and certain manifestations, and you distract yourself, or that's usually when that happens, when you seemingly have everything that you wanted in life, but just shit keeps, things just keep happening, certain affairs or certain experiences, certain life altering, like accidents and stuff like that happen because it's basically energy. Like it could be bad energy too, like bad juju. Like it's almost like tests. That there will always be tests in life, and there's always going to be hard times, but it depends on how you react to it and not succumbing to sadness, hatred, jealousy, anger, pettiness, or anything of that, judgment upon anybody. That's self-development, when you mature and you have this higher enlightenment that, not everything is about you, and you're just here to live your life, live and learn. And that's how, you learn about life. I don't know. Jesus. Was I talking too much? I always do that. I talk so much. So sorry. But this is weird because it looks like you're going into the fire. Like how the cards are set up. Because first is this, right? First, second, and last. So the burning city. And shipping off into another breathing fire volcanic city. I don't know, it's weird. Or maybe this is what you're running, or you have to turn your back on, either addictions, overindulgence. Think about the 7 deadly sins. Like I said, changing your life, trying to be better, going with the flow also, okay? You can't be rigid. You can't stick to one thing and not be open-minded. You got to be open-minded. You can't be rigid. We got the 8 of Swords again. Don't let disappointment get the best of you, like hard times. Because even though I have the 8 of Wands here upright in this deck, it came out in reverse. So there might be some delays. There might be some delays upon either movement or because the 5 of Pentacles the 5 of Cups talks about disappointment. About a delay, because we have the 8 of Wands in reverse, so that talks about delay. or the lack of action and needing to do more. And maybe you're, like I said, you're limiting your people limit their thoughts, especially humans. When they're in disappointment, they start thinking like, what's the point then? What's the point of trying if all there is going to be delays and temptation everywhere? I'm always going to give in. I'm always giving in to temptation or addictions, and it keeps happening. But that's the thing. You should never let yourself get stuck. That, like I said, even though there's always going to be hard times, let yourself go through those hard times. Let yourself feel and process and then transition out of those hard times, because, like it's been said many times, the rain does not last forever, and the sun always comes out. It's always a new day, a new year, a new hour to do things. Do not let yourself get stuck in disappointment or sadness. And stuff like that. Don't let yourself stay stagnated. Like I said in the description, do not let these hard times get to you. It will show a sense of character, right? Let me see what. Can you please clarify the devil here? Why is the devil here? Okay, so maybe it happens. I find myself doing it sometimes. When I get bored or mad or sad, I usually go to some kind of substance, either smoking or drinking. So the devil's here because of some kind of disappointment. So that could be that either I guess you could say relapse. Let yourself relapse because of some kind of disappointment. You seek out temptation when you're disappointed. So either sex, going out, booty call, drinking, and then, or just because it's so red and fiery and angry. So I could say like anger, drinking too much and then getting angry and fighting with everybody. I don't know, something like that. I mean, we could go as far as, let me see what. What is this? What is this disappointment about? What is this Five of Pentacles about? What is this disappointment? Can you please clarify the Five of Cups? What is this disappointment? What is this disappointment about? What is this disappointment about? Why is this? There's a baby upstairs. I don't know, I can't see it. But we have the Emperor and the King of Pentacles, which is someone who a father figure or an authority figure. You might say a boss, because we have the Emperor here, and the King of Pentacles, someone being a father figure. You know, the King of Pentacles is usually somebody that you want as a husband. You know, someone who's stable, loyal, and noble and honorable. Maybe this person, this authority father figure, you know, someone that holds power, said something, or there's said some news about something, because we have the Page of Swords here. Or someone who someone seeking new adventures, I believe. The Page of Swords. Yeah, see, the Page of Swords is someone who is, a Page of Swords will guide you how to tackle difficult problems with the utmost sufficiency. When it appears, follow his lead. Be analytical. Act honorably and keep a firm resolve. See what I mean? And I have the King of Pentacles here. So, there might be a imbalance of finances. Not finances, but someone not financing something. I don't know if this has to do with work. Does have the Emperor being authority. The King of Pentacles. Let me see. What is this Five of Cups? Why is this Five of Cups here? Can you clarify the Five of Cups? Why is the Five of Cups here? Why is this disappointment? Seven of Coins and Ace of Coins. Yeah, let's see. And we have the Page of Swords again here. This has to do with finances, I believe. Because we have the Ace of Coins and the Seven of Coins. And I believe the Seven of Coins. Yeah. The Seven of Coins is hard work, preserve in order to attain the harvest, continued application, rededication of effort, refusal to give up, dedication to one's role in great work, one's mission in life. And then the Ace of Pentacles, a new doorway opening up, like work-wise, dealing with the material questions of life with a new spirit of adventure. I don't know why I was getting this. Yeah. You see, kind of like, yeah, it says right here, decisions are made on material matters. The company try the mountain pass, but realize they must find another way into Mordor. Yeah. And in my other videos, I was getting a message of somebody losing their job. So there might be a shortage of finances, or being worried about finances. But I also got the Justice, so there's a fairness. So if you are in the liking scale of doing things right, efficiently, responsibly, taking accountability, moving forward with the right foot. But either you're worried that you might have to look for another job, so then you start feeling worried. Like I said, don't let yourself get stuck in that energy, because if you get stuck in that energy, think about it as, manifesting. I was reading this. If you are praying for money and you do this magic and you do rituals or do all this hard work, your blood and sweat, and then one little insignificant, it might not seem little to you at the moment, it might seem like the world is ending at the time, but that's the thing that you have to understand. There's never the end of anything. It's a continuing cycle. Just like there's not an end to numbers. It just keeps on going. There's not an end to time. It just keeps on going. It's infinite. So you can't get stuck on bad times and anger and resentment and reacting impulsively because of these hard times. That's how you build character and being efficient. And it wouldn't be the end of the world if you would have had your ducks in a row, if you would have had your priorities straight, if you would have taken responsibility and accountability for your own actions and the life around you, and not ignoring the things that need to be done in life and taking those steps to do what's right and doing what you need to do what's right. I sound like a broken record. I feel like I said this like 50 times already. I'm trying to record this like 3-4 times already. And just like in the times when humanity turned on each other, or how they say the end of times, like the doomsday preppers, or in The Walking Dead, when, or even a pandemic like now in 2020, 2021, in these hard times, what are people doing? What are you as an individual doing to make these hard times better? Are you contributing to it? Are you contributing into the BS? Or are you trying to make things better regardless of the unfairness that has happened in this world or has happened to you? I understand the things that you have gone through might have affected you in a certain way, and I might not know how it has affected you, and you don't know what certain things have affected me in life and have molded me to be who I am now. But we have to realize that those things happen for a reason, and we are only here to learn from our mistakes and life, and even from people around us, people around us, people that we let into our lives, or people who we just randomly meet in the streets and randomly talk to us and tell us about their lives because they had this impulse to just tell you. That person was there for a reason at that time and at that moment. It happened for a reason. Maybe to open your eyes to a perspective and open your eyes to the broader view of life, that not everyone is like you and not everybody is different than you. We all here living and existing, because this talks of hard work, like I said, being at a job, putting all this hard work, and then for some reason you hear that someone else is getting the position that you wanted, or that you were trying to go for, or that you were hoping to go for, and you just like flip, like, oh, you know what, and no, they're gonna get a piece of my mind, and I'm gonna show them, and I'm gonna do this, and that. Instead of doing all of that, know your own worth, know your own integrity, and act gracefully. And if you feel that was unfair to you, then sit in that worthiness and remove yourself from the situation if that was unfair. if you continue there, you're contributing to the unfairness, and you're just sitting in resentment and anger and letting those things fester, and those things are going to pour out in your life, in your love life, in everything you do, in your family matters, in your relationship matters, and in your relations, whatever. It's going to pour out in those things. If you are unhappy in an aspect of your life, it's going to pour out into other aspects of your world, the people that you connect with or do not connect with. You'll probably isolate yourself from people, be mad at the world because your life is so unfair. There's adversities, there's a bunch of people out there that think different things, that believe different things, and are wired differently. Millions and trillions of people. And you want to isolate and close yourself from the world. Oh, that's the message for me. All right. That keeps coming up, that message, like closing and isolating yourself from the world because of certain disappointments that have happened in your life, in our lives, and closing ourselves, closing our hearts. When you close your heart, you close that door to God, to Spirit. So if you act in hatred, jealousy, resentment, whatever, pettiness, you are closing and blocking yourself from God, from Spirit, from the universe, from the all being, all everything, the Creator, the Almighty, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same. It's everything. It's universal. It's a language. Everything is the same. They're different names, but it's all the same. Any other message, Spirit? Any message from the spellcaster? It's so weird. I did not read into the signs today. I don't know why. Maybe that wasn't significant right now. They do not want to talk. All my other cards flipped out and talked. No, they don't want to. See, they did in the other videos. I'm telling you, it was about somebody losing their job. There was money. The Ace of Pentacles came out, like, too, also. And the Justice card, which was fairness and finances. But I also had the Two of Pentacles, which is priorities. Someone not weighing their priorities right, not being organized, losing their job possibly because they're not organized, or can't remember. Okay, hear my mother-in-law. Oh my god, no. Sorry, I have to do that. I have a cat, and he sheds a lot. Oh, damn it. I think I'm getting a pimple on my chin. It hurts. There's a pimple forming under my skin. Right here. Or it's my bone. Oh no, never mind. Yeah, it's just my jaw. That's where one of my exes, my abusive ex, punched me and dislocated my jaw. He punched me right here. And it still hurts. It's weird. I don't think it was dislocated, but something is broken. It was broken right here. Because it hurts when I touch it. Or there's a pimple forming there. Wow, they really don't want to speak. Alright. I don't know, I hope I said everything that I needed and wanted to say. Like, you know, involving the other videos that didn't get recorded. It did get recorded, but it just stopped. Like, it just stopped recording. So I just had to erase it and then start over again 3 times. It's ridiculous. But I think I was saying something about either hearing or I had the Queen of Swords in reverse. So that's someone letting their emotions get the best of them, being over emotional about a situation, about a matter. That could be work, you know, not using logic, but getting too emotionally invested in something that you shouldn't. Being very bitchy. That's one of the descriptions that is said for the Queen of Swords in reverse. And then there was the Judgment card too. So that's either higher consciousness shift, evolving and transitioning to a higher position, either workplace or higher consciousness, you know. And so, like I said, you know, if you let yourself get overly emotional, and not acting logical, meaning putting your heart over your head and not thinking logical with your head, because let's have a talk. Like I was trying to tell my husband that everyone is put on this on this earth to live life, right? And we're here to live and learn and to master all the elements, that's water, air, fire, and earth. Air being the logic, the intellect, the thoughts, the ideas, the innovative person, always changing, changing ideas. Ideas always change. They're never, the same. One idea starts and then they're just ideas. Ideas are just ideas unless they're put into action, right? So there could be so many ideas. Water being the emotions, being in control of your own emotions and aware of your own emotions. And when you're in control and aware of your own emotions, that's when you master, higher consciousness. And earth being practicality, responsibility, and work, effort. And fire being the action, the execution, the passion, working in the sense of the heart. So when you work with the heart and the brain and controlling your emotions, that's when you're aligned and balanced with oneself, being, that's what the hermit does. That's what the hermit does. He goes in isolation, learning about himself, learning his own demons, learning his own faults and flaws, and working with what he's got, with what one person's got, all his virtues and talents and creativity that one possesses, because that's what we are. We are creators. We are able to create. In that sense, that could be in love, connection, receptivity. Trying to better humanity, trying to better yourself and humanity. When you, like I said, when you better yourself, you're an example to humanity. What else did I want to say? There's a lot of things that I want to say that I like to speak upon, and people usually look at me like I'm crazy and be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, sure." And it's like, I don't know. But yeah, I suggest reading the Kundalini. Always try to read. I try to force myself to read the Kundalini. Kundalin rising. It's really helpful and good. And the other, I already finished. Where is it? Don't tell me I left it. Oh, I took it out. Never mind. The Blood Moon by Mark lights, I believe. Like I said in the other video, this book is biased by the eyes of, the Jewish religion, and it's very biblical. But you gotta look at the astronomical views of this book and what it talks about the moon, the sun, and time itself, how man created time and altered time, stuff like that. That's really good to know, that to have that kind of knowledge. And so, like I said, it's good to be open-minded about everything. Like I said, every religion has its own language, but it's all the same. That's why they say that Christianity, Catholic, it's all the same. It all talks about one source, one God. But it's interpreted in different ways. That's why we have different religions and stuff like that, different languages, but it's all the same. And basically, it's just the betterment of humanity. That's it. And contributing to that. And being innovators and inventive human beings. Not being limited to just following the leader, living, not even living, but just working and then dying. Just sitting there and waiting for death to come, and sitting in resentment and sitting there and just, I don't know. I don't know, there's just a lot of things that I want to say, but yeah. I said that there's some kind, because the 5 of Cups kept coming up, disappointment, and in the other videos 5 of Cups also kept coming up, and the Ace of Pentacles. So there might be a lack of finances, or losing your job because of lack of, that's why the lack of finances, because losing your job, or being that you're overcommitting yourself, not organizing yourself, not setting your priorities straight, and stuff like that, and then getting overly emotional, not using logic. And that's basically how you stagnate your bag, how you stagnate your your blessings, sitting in disappointment, sitting in sadness, sitting in the what is and worry of yesterday and tomorrow, and not living in the present, not being positive and trying to better the situation instead of worsening the situation by staying mad, resentful, or pitiful, whatever. And it seems like in every tarot reading that I do, is the same message, almost the same message. Taking accountability, responsibility, doing what's right, not sitting in resentment, not letting your pettiness for being right get the best of you, and not turning away from what's right, from God, from your responsibilities, and going and picking up a pipe, or going and drinking your whole paycheck, or going to I mean, addictions could be shopping, eating too much, just doing too much of overindulging, because you're not happy. When you overindulge, when you bite so much and you do so much, it's because you're not happy. So you gotta remove yourself from those things, turn away from those things that close you off from spirit. That is the message. I hope y'all enjoy. But yeah, I do want to say that these times are we are in judgment, I believe. There's only a few who will hear the calling. The calling is that calling of having a purpose in life and needing to do something about it. That's the calling. That's the Kundalini rising, right? And we are in those times where many people and this knowledge is rising, and which a lot of people, even if they didn't grow up as Jewish descents or whatever, or Jewish family, there's a lot of people in these times, in this era right now, in this, you want to call it the age of Aquarius, because we are in the age of Aquarius, where there's a lot of increase of knowledge of the Torah. That's the Jewish, I believe the Jewish Bible. I don't think they call it a Bible. It's a book of knowledge, which it talks a lot about God and God speaking to us through the heavens, which is the stars, the sun and the moon, stuff like that. They tell his story, and they tell our story in the heavens, which is the stars, the earth, and the sun. I mean, the moon and the sun and the stars. And they tell us when certain historic, life-changing events happen or will happen. And it's always consistent in a certain month, in a certain day, I believe, in a certain century. I don't know, you guys y'all have to really read, have an open mind to a lot of things. Don't be biased, even if the book is biased. Don't, take bits and pieces of it. That's why you have, your own free will. You get to learn what you feel is right, what you feel is your calling. I had to do my nail. Because, like, a person who is more interested and wired to learn about mechanical stuff, and another person who is interested and wired and passionate about the body anatomy, the body itself, certain things that are spoken or facts truths will not resonate with somebody if they're not interested in it, if they're not aware of it, because it wasn't their calling. It wasn't their calling then, at that time, at that day, at that year. Maybe 2, 3, 5 months, 3 years from now, it will record and it will resonate with the person when it's deemed important. And it usually happens when it's too late. Either when somebody, for example, somebody who is not interested in the body and not learning about the body and how to take care of the body, and only cares about mechanical stuff like cars and technology or whatever. Like it's so important. Like it really, I mean, I know, I'm just kidding, I'm being funny. I know technology has, has morphed and has done something for humans. It's been significant, right? So what I'm trying to say is that if a person comes to you and be like, you should eat more healthy if you have these kind of stomach problems and this and that. And like, oh, it doesn't matter. I like eating this. It doesn't matter. And then later on the life, when they start having problems, illnesses and stuff start manifesting because of too much junk food, too much bad stuff, consuming too many bad stuff. That once they have to go to a doctor because they have a terminal illness or whatever. It doesn't have to be terminal. It's just an example. I'm saying it's only going to register. Things are going to register when they're going to register. You can't force things onto someone. It's the same thing as someone who's been being abused. They don't see the abuse until they see it. They feel it themselves and they register, like, when it's too late, either when they get almost die or beaten really bad, to a point of dying, to a point where, the damage is irreversible. It just, nobody's better than anybody. It's just, everyone is wired to live and learn on their own pace, their own path, their own whatever. Just because I know this knowledge before you doesn't mean I'm better than you. It's just that's when it came into my life. And maybe this happened for a reason, so I could speak upon it onto you, to your ears, to register to you and to the 35 people that are subscribed to my YouTube channel. I'm starting to get tired. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. I'm doing okay. I'm just going about life. I'm trying to learn as much as I can, trying to read, trying to do my duties as a mother, as a person, as a individual, in life. Always speaking the truth and knowledge that I come upon, and it might be beneficial to whoever I come across, and I open my mouth, and whoever is blessed by the big mouth of mine, because I don't like to stay quiet. There's certain times where I have to bite my tongue, and it's like, so I know I shouldn't. Like, why are you biting your tongue if that's what you feel you need to say? That's what you need to say at the moment. But there's been times where, I didn't bite my tongue, and I'm glad I spoke the things that I needed to speak upon, and truths and stuff like that. I bettered my situation, removed myself from certain people and situations that do not benefit me, just like how the Six of Swords, transitioning into better, calmer waters, better situations, even though there's always going to be something bad that happens, but it's just how you react to it, how you do not let yourself succumb to low vibrations, to low behaviors, to nasty behaviors. That's what I mean about, you know, better, higher consciousness. Not trying to be better than anybody else, but being better than yesterday. Being better than yourself. You know what I'm trying to say. See y'all.